Libra, to your June 23rd through the 30th reading. Hope you friends are doing great out there. If you friends like this, please like and subscribe. Okay, friends, we have this beautiful card coming out right here, the perfection of your life. See what's going on. See what Spirit has to say about that. This is, I love this card. If you cannot believe that there is something happening, even at a subtle level, because you feel stuck, denied, bored, thwarted, or stale, this oracle brings you a message also of no matter what appears to be in truth, there is only the unfolding of creative genius of the universe. You are not forgotten. You have not been looked over. You have not been denied, found wanting or rejecting as unworthy. The storm that needs to erupt is within your own heart. So if you feel like you have any kind of blocked energy or anything that's going on, just remember, right? Let's take this, turn it around, right? Because you will call on the powerful perfection of your life path that aligns you for the next creative turn of the spirals of your life, excuse me. Once again, you will trust and directly experience the flower of life unfolding within you and around you. So pretty much what it's saying is don't think that just because things are not going 100 the way that you expect them to go at this time does not mean that they're not coming in. It just means that there's this kind of, it is kind of a stalemate in its own way, right? It's waiting for, the crazy thing about this is it's waiting for the perfect storm. It's like you're in the kind of perfect storm, right? And unfortunately, because of the way that it's unfolding, my friends, it is causing this anxiety-inducing feeling within yourself and this kind of restlessness, right? And that's just because Spirit is really trying to impact you and he's trying to push you to these other, he's ruffling your feathers. Oh ho! Yep, and preparing you for what lovely, super fresh, uplifting feelings that one experiences after the storm has finally passed. He's waiting for you to amplify yourself, push yourself to that next limit, raise the vibrations. It's all a part of it. Like it's like a little trial and tribulation, right? Oh my gosh, that's so crazy, right? It's like shit. How are we gonna get out of that? Because 30 breaks down to 3, which is saying if it's the perfection of your life, see what you're doing within energy, right? Whatever you don't like, right? Because those things that you don't like, they ruffle your feathers. Walk away from those things. That's what he's saying. Walk away from the things that no longer serve you, that ruffle your feathers. Because unfortunately, these things are the part of the perfect storm. And he's allowing you to walk right through it. It's kind of a rebirth in its own way because he's saying, how far are you going to let them ruffle your feathers? But I'm not going to do anything about it. I want you to do it so that you can find your happy place. 3. So, right, and as soon as you get to where you need to be, oh boy, I can only imagine what the outcome of this one is going to be over here, Libra. So, it almost feels like he could even be throwing wrenches and stones at you, and you're like, where are you throwing wrenches and stones at me? It's not really doing it, he's allowing it, right? There's a difference between him doing it and allowing it. No, he's allowing it because he's ruffling the feathers. How are you going to get out of this? Show me how you're going to get out. Do you really want this? How much do you want it? Trust that I have the situation. And I think a lot of it is trust who you're not trusting in the situation. So it feels like because there's no trust within the situation, because the more that you get wrenches thrown at you, the more we kind of fall instead of, well, just take that wrench out, right? It's kind of like, how bad do you want something? If you want it this bad, we'll see. Yeah, definitely a challenge. You guys are in a challenge mode right now. I don't think it's going to last long. But this is definitely a challenge when you might even feel like you're protecting yourself from other people, other things, but you are persevering so strong, right? In defense mode, maintaining the control that you need, just really pushing. Wow. Yeah, because But in other ways, it's kind of crazy because the three cards come through. It's like you're in a challenge mode, you're pushing, you're protecting yourself, you know what you're doing, but you're also holding back. That's where the perfection of life is, right? You might be fearful of taking the risk because you're like, every time I try to do something, a wrench gets thrown. Incisive hesitation. Maybe you're not taking the risk because you're too hesitant to do so. Take it how it resonates. But you know that there's multiple priorities. You know that there's things that you can do. You have to adapt to the situations. You're balancing a lot of decisions. There's a lot of decisions over here. A lot of decisions. Yeah. But I think a lot of the decisions that other people are also doing around you, though, Libra, I think it is ruffling your feathers. I think it kind of throws you off. I just feel like it throws you off balance. Well, how am I supposed to get to this really, really happy place within my life when, this happens, that happens, this happens, this happens? You see what I'm saying? It just feels like it's kind of like that's the kind of trust, test and tribulations. You just kind of have to find a pattern that you trust, right? Clearing the way of certain, you got to cleanse the storm. You have to cleanse a way for you to be able to feel like you have solid footing. Because it says right here, some parts of your life will have been washed away. Some others will be strong and stable and a bit messy, perhaps, but still, nonetheless, how are you feeling about the situation? Are you feeling like you are gleaming and that you are getting through the storm? Do you trust in the universe and in the process to, to get to where you would need to be? Or are you just letting it drain you? Block you. So this one says, in a healing process says, finish this by practicing to say, I give thanks for the higher order of my life, which I trust implicitly as it guides me into the wholeness and love. From that which appears as chaos, new order is rising. I trust this and receive the gift of higher order in my life. Hold on, I changed the page. Now, through grace and mercy, so be it. And that's exactly what it is. Right? Okay, let's keep going. So, next card coming out is the trust, the star. There it is. I just read that. Trust within the universe. They already know the purpose. They already know where you're going. This is a trial. Boy, is this a trial. It definitely could be karmic trial of trying to push you to the outer limits of what you're not used to because of the risk card. Something that you're doing that's keeping yourself in balance. Keeping the hope, the faith alive. Because you have spiritual fortune coming through. After you get through this trial, you will get exactly, pretty much exactly whatever it is you're looking for. One way or another, somehow. Yeah. Because, it's they got the Four of Wands over here. It's saying there will be the celebration. You will have the homecoming. You have to keep the trust and the faith. You have to trust in within yourself, though, too. You can't say, I'm going to manifest this, and I hope to have this and that, and then turn around and say, but I'm not good enough for that. That's never going to happen. Why the hell would I take a risk on that when I'm probably going to end up hurting myself? And then he's going to throw a wrench at me anyways. Right? So, yeah, it just feels like instead of, but it feels like within your life right now, you are avoiding a lot of conflict within your life. It could be within the household. It could be within the love situation. You know what? There is a lot of agreeing to disagree. There is a lot of diversity. It could also just be coming within your own mind. And I think a lot of it, no matter what is within your mind. So even if you're dealing with this on an outside source of someone else, right, it becomes an inside source. So therefore you have, I'm avoiding the conflict with them, but no matter, even when I'm avoiding the conflict with them, it's giving me mental conflict. It causes me mental diversity. And then it makes you feel like, well, how the hell am I going to get out of this situation? I'm freaking stuck. How am I going to do that? And then scared to take the risk, but knowing that you want the Ace of Cups, knowing that you want this fresh new feeling, knowing intuitively that there is something, that the universe is handing you this Ace of Cups. It's just to get to it. Like, I want the Ace of Cups. I want the new feelings. I want this and I want that. I'm just having a hard time getting to it. How do I get to this new love? How do I get here? How do I get there? How do I get them to love me back? How do I fix this love situation? It's just, and I think see, there's that mental going, Libra, where you're just kind of like, how do I this? How do I that? How do I, instead of just having faith, sitting back and saying, you know what? I don't know how the hell this is going to work. I know I have to try to do something. I can't just sit back and do nothing. But I definitely don't have to sit over here and give myself mental conflict and make myself go crazy with anxiety. Because if you just kind of kick back, relax, and use your intuition, things will come a little bit, a little bit easier. Overwhelming yourself in your mind just causes chaos within the mind, and then it gets nothing down. It gets nothing accomplished, except for you running in circles in your mind, right? So, clarifying on the overall outcome is the Empress. Creative new ways of thinking. Thank you, Spirit. But it does feel like, though, you do have that thirst of knowledge of how to do this and that and that. But at least with the intuition coming through, and just knowing that you're nurturing the situation as you're accomplishing the growth, you're going through the evolution, you understand what's now going on within the situation, you will have a different kind of outlook on the situation. You're going to be looking at it different. So the thirst for knowledge is not going to be this running around in your head of how we do this, that, blah, 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 right? Now it's going to be more like, okay, if I take baby steps and I think about it this way, right, I'm not as restless anymore. Now I don't have that restless, crazy energy going around me that holds me back, and then I can't figure it out. So then I just get, I just get down about the situation. Then I'll lose faith, and you know what I mean? Because maybe I don't understand the whole process and the whole purpose of why are you doing this, to me. Why don't you just help me, right? But you start becoming more communicative within yourself and within the universe, and you just kind of realize that things, they're kind of, things are coming to you. You no longer feel the delays of the hangman. You no longer feel that, lack of control within your mind, indecisions, stalling. You're now seeing the release of certain situations, having new perspectives, finding more enlightened views of things, kind of stepping out, guys, right? Letting go of all that is saying, oh, I'm battling the storm. You're going to find out. Now I'm walking through that storm towards the perfection of my life. That whole card is kind of crazy because the perfection of the storm kind of reminds me of, this is what I want as the perfection. This is kind of like the ace here reminds me of. And you're just talking about this storm, right? But it makes me feel like you're like lost in this forest. That's the forest of thought, right? I'm going to go this path, this path. The next thing you know, you don't even know where the hell you are. You can't even backtrack anymore because you're so lost within the forest. And then you're just going to kind of sit down on a rock, right? And you're going to kind of look around and you'd be like, you know what? I think if I just do this, I'll head on out of this forest. And the more you get out of the forest, the sun is shining, right? That's how I see it. That's the way I perceive it. Because it really does feel that way, right? Because sometimes our minds can be just some kind of crazy forest that we're just lost in, So, yeah. And then all of a sudden you get the world. Yeah, see, like I said, you walked right out of that forest. Yeah, because now you're going to feel the accomplishments are actually starting to travel towards you as you're traveling towards them. You're going to actually feel like things are actually attaining fulfillment. You're going to feel like you're actually arriving at where you need to be, where things are making sense. And I think that a lot of this too, when we're stuck in this crazy forest, things are not making sense. And that's why we're asking a lot of questions. Well, damn it, I did this and that and nothing came out of it. So what? I don't understand, and then you know what I'm saying? You start getting to the point where confusion is happening. And so now you're coming to the point in the end over here with the new ideas. You're no longer confused. You're cutting through all of that, getting to new perspectives, understanding things as you are now calming your mind, right? Because now you're in Empress mode. So you're saying, well, if I'm in Empress mode, I can understand things. I have the growth. I've evolved within the situation to sit down, settle down, right? I don't have to ask every question in the world. I just need to illuminate myself. Just relax. Relax. And yeah, we all do it. And I'm a Libra moon, so I do the same thing. Believe you and me. There's times that I do the same thing. My Libra moon can catch me off guard, make me get imbalanced like that as well. But you're going to find that the movement that you have is definitely going in the direction that you need it to be now. So now you're going to feel even more determined because now you feel like you're on the direction where you need to be to get to where you need to be. Right now, I can see what's coming through me. Now I can kind of see what is happening, right? Because now I have the wisdom and the understanding. I feel healthier, wealthier. I understand everything that's going on. I can contribute better to my wisdom. And there's, having that trust within the universe that everything is going to be okay. Because you kind of conformed now, right? You did. You conformed. You conformed to the trust of the universe and to yourself and your own intuition and wisdom. So definitely feeling like, you know what, now I've got the long-term success within the situation and I know where I'm going. Now I can see things coming together. I've left the baggage behind. I've left that energy behind. And now I can have the wishful fulfillments as the doors are opening for me. Right? Why? Because I'm nurturing my situations better. Right? Now I see it more practical. Even though, and it's kind of crazy because I do feel for a lot of you, what's ever going on within you does not seem practical. And that's why you're so confused. This doesn't make any sense. But now you're saying maybe it didn't need to really make sense. I just had to have faith and trust, right? So now it's like searching for the purpose isn't even really searching for the purpose. It's just swiftly changing for you. It's like all this time I've been looking for this purpose of this situation, but it's almost like the more I kept searching for the purpose of this situation, I kept getting lost more and more because it doesn't make much sense. It's kind of crazy though, guys. You guys are on this spiritual journey or however is going on. Sometimes the universe throws things that don't make them the biggest sense because you're going to say, how did I get to plan A to plan C? Well, you have to trust in the universe that everything's going to come together the way it needs to come together and that you will have a practical, yes, you will start seeing the practical plans then coming together as it starts. But if you're trying to put everything together all in one in certain situations, it doesn't work. And that's because life itself, usually we have to you can't go from plan A to plan C, But, you have the Wheel of Fortune. Because of the Wheel of Fortune, it's saying you don't need to do that. You just need to trust in the situation. This is a karmic cycle that you are guys going through. It is something that's destined to happen to you. And there is a big reward coming out of it. I do see the Ten of Pentacles. There's a lot of major arcanas just sitting at the end of this. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 major arcanas just sitting right here in itself, plus 6 and 7. So this is divinely done. So, it's like you could be saying, I've been going through this for a couple of months. I could be going this. Hey, it's almost like if I don't get through this, I feel like I might be doing this the rest of my life is how it might feel for some of you. Right? So, okay. Overall energy for you, my beautiful Libra. I do see beautiful things coming through. If you're looking for a beautiful relationship with someone, we do have the Hierophant, beautiful card. Moving towards the love, moving towards the commitment, the money, the career with the Ten of Pentacles. There's a lot of beautiful things coming. You're definitely walking into a new cycle change. And you also have the Empress over here, which is talking about the overall abundance. So you are definitely, no matter what, it is the perfect timing for you to walk right through this. Communicate clearly. Yes. Shit. And yes at the bottom of the deck. Don't tell me it's not yes. Okay? From a year from now, you're not even going to feel like the same person because the situation is going to improve so differently. You're going to feel like a whole new you. Absolutely. Okay? Okay, my friends. And that was it. Until next time. Peace and love. Bye-bye.